This is a brief demo of a prototype Azure OpenAI service that we have put together to demonstrate some value to a client. The scenario is very similar to a number of potential requirements around how do we find information, make sense of information across maybe big multiple data sets, particularly unstructured content. In this case, we're using a very simple chat interface. This could be integrated into an intranet or through Teams. And for context, just to give you an example, looking at an Australian government set of guidelines here that is used by, in this case, people within an organisation to help provide advice. So any sort of professional services we're applicable for, or even to find information, make sense of information that might be in manuals, procedures, and policies. So how do we simplify experience and make it more productive? So you can see this is a 362-page document. So unless you're very familiar with this type of content, a domain expert, it can be very hard to manage that. So think about content you might have or need to be accessible by people in your organisation to be able to find and sort this information. So as part of this prototype, we have ingested that document I had on the screen before, and the OpenAI service is able to use that information to answer some questions. So I'll show you a couple of examples. This is one as relating to around workplace employment. We can ask the question around wage subsidies. And you can see we're using an abbreviation here, and this question doesn't exist in the document as itself. So the service is, the document's been indexed, is in the model's been trained, and we get a response that gives us an answer to say that in this case, the job seeker participant, who is a family member, is not eligible for any subsidies. Now, we also can see there's a reference provided. And so we can click on that and see the citation that gives us a clue to things like page numbers of where we could then go and use the document to validate the information before we provide advice. So keeping that human in the loop is really important, and ability to verify information. We can ask even more detailed information, such as, outline a process for an activity as an employer who is seeking to offer placements for maybe newly arrived refugee. And using that exact same content, it's going to go and provide a little bit of an outline. So it's not just around a particular question, but I need to know how to go forward and maybe provide some information. So we can see here it say, well, the process is we need an initial appointment, we need to check for exemption from particular requirements, screening selection, and so forth. And we also see it's provided us with 3 different references. So one document, but multiple parts that it has used as part of its indexing training process. So a really rich way to be able to ask natural language questions around your data and get responses, but still provide the right references to be able to do that. So hopefully that was useful to show how a very simple chat-like interface could potentially be used around summarizing, answering questions around large bodies of unstructured text. And of course, this could be augmented by not only documents, but potentially other data sets you have within your organization to really make that a really enriched experience.